Betrayal doesn't always come loud and messy. Sometimes, it comes quietly, in the form of a late-night text that never gets answered. A kiss that feels emptier than it should. Or a voice that says, "I love you," but the eyes are somewhere else. If you've ever given someone your heart only for them to stomp on it like it meant nothing, then I want you to stay with me. And if you've been in that place, the moment before everything crumbles, then leave a comment. Tell me what it felt like. Because this story, this one cut deep. And if you're watching quietly, just tap like and subscribe for more. I see you. Her name was Carolina Lopez. 3 years ago, she was the brightest, boldest, most intoxicating woman I had ever met. We met on a rooftop during a screening of Casablanca. She laughed too loudly, talked with her hands, and had this way of looking at you that made you feel like you were the only person on earth. I fell for her right there. Over old black and white dialogue and a shared cup of sangria. She told me she wanted to open her own boutique one day. A place for real women, not just models or influencers. I told her I worked in software, not glamorous, but stable. I paid attention, listened, showed up. She was the dreamer. I was the builder. And together, we made plans. 6 months later, we moved in together. By year 1, I had already poured thousands into helping her launch her dream. I helped lease her store space. Covered the first few months of rent when traffic was low. Paid for a logo designer. Got her a brand strategist. Even bought the mannequin displays when her budget ran out. And I didn't do it to hold anything over her head. I did it because I believed in her. Because when you love someone, truly, you bet on their dreams as much as your own. For a while, everything felt perfect. She'd send me little, "I miss you" selfies during the day. She'd run her fingers through my hair while we watched movies. And at night, she'd fall asleep curled against me like I was the safest place she'd ever known. But forever is fragile. It started with fewer texts. Then came the long hours at the boutique. She said she was busy with meetings. Trying to scale the brand. I didn't question it, not at first. Then she brought up a name I hadn't heard before. Chris Wright. Marketing consultant. Fit. Tall. Clean-cut jaw. Wore cologne that stuck to her clothes when she got home late. She swore he was strictly professional. But something about the way she said his name made me take notice. Cuss. Not Mr. Wright. Not the consultant. Cuss. Like he was already something more. I caught them laughing once. I dropped by the shop with coffee, just a random sweet gesture. And there he was, standing too close, his hand resting lightly on the small of her back. She didn't see me right away. But when she did, she smiled, like it was just any other day. Like I wasn't standing there trying not to fall apart inside. I handed her the coffee, made small talk, and left. But that image burned in my head for days. From then on, it all changed. The kisses became quick and cold. Her body next to mine at night felt distant, like a stranger had crawled under the sheets. She stopped initiating anything physical. Then came the excuses, "I'm just tired. My head hurts. Work has me stressed." And every time I asked if she was okay, she said, "It's just a phase." But phases pass. This didn't. She started suggesting space. More girls' nights. Solo weekends to recenter. She claimed I was smothering her, that maybe we'd gotten too comfortable. I kept trying. I bought her flowers. Left her notes. Took on more chores so she could rest. But love doesn't work when only one person is rowing the boat. And deep down, I think I already knew. There's this moment. Right before a storm, where the air goes still. That's what this night felt like. Still. Quiet. Like something was about to break. And I had no idea it would be me. I wanted to remind her of what we had. The laughter. The nights tangled up in each other's arms. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd forgotten what we were, and I could help her remember. So I decided to surprise her. One last time. That Friday, I got off work early. Picked up groceries, fresh flowers, and her favorite wine. A Chilean red we drank on our first anniversary. I set the table with candles, dimmed the lights, played soft music through the speakers, the playlist she made me when we first moved in together. Chicken marsala, garlic risotto, and roasted asparagus, her favorite meal. I even folded the napkins the way she liked them. It wasn't just dinner. It was a memory I was trying to resurrect. Before I started cooking, I called Lily Zhang and Isaias Pollard. Two of my closest friends and one of those rare happily in love couples. I told them my plan. They both thought it was sweet. Said I was a real one, and that Carolina was lucky to have someone who still tried this hard. I smiled. But deep down, I wasn't sure if she even wanted me to try anymore. By 6 o'clock, the food was in the oven. By 6:30, the table was set. By 7 o'clock, I lit the candles. I sent her a text. Dinner surprise at home. Come hungry. She replied, oh no, disappointed face, I forgot to tell you. I've got a late client dinner with Kiss. Don't wait up. I stared at the message. That name again. Kiss. A late dinner. Again. Something inside me shifted. Not anger, not yet. Just this cold, hollow feeling. So I packed up the wine, the roses, and decided I'd swing by the shop. Maybe drop everything off. Maybe she'd be back by then. Maybe I'd finally get a minute of her time. I drove in silence. No music. Just the sound of my own doubts banging around inside my head. When I pulled up to the boutique, I noticed the front lights were still on. The sign on the door said, closed, but the back hallway lights were glowing faintly through the tinted glass. I got out, walked quietly around the building, past the alley dumpster, and found the window to her office cracked open just enough to see through. What I saw made me stop breathing. She was naked, bent back on her office desk. And Kiss Wright was between her legs, holding her thighs apart like she belonged to him. His mouth was buried in her like she was the last taste he'd ever get. She wasn't just letting it happen. She was loving it. Moaning, gasping, fingers tangled in his hair like she'd waited all day for this. That was my girl. My Carolina. The woman I was making chicken marsala for. And there she was. Getting dessert before the main course. I wanted to scream. To punch through the glass. To drag him off her and ask her why. But instead, I pulled out my phone. I hit record. I don't know why. Maybe to protect myself. Maybe to remind myself later that I wasn't crazy, that what I saw was real. And then, came the worst part. They finished. He wiped his mouth. She giggled and pulled her dress halfway on, not even bothering with underwear. Then she said it. You're so much better than him, Kiss. I haven't even let him touch me in months. I told him I had migraines. Poor guy believed it. Kiss laughed. Laughed. You're ruthless, he said. Yeah, she replied. But I only fake it with him. This is the real thing. I stopped recording. I stood there in that alley like a ghost, gripping a bouquet of wine-red roses, listening to the woman I loved rip my heart apart one filthy, cruel sentence at a time. They kissed again. He asked if she was staying the night. She said no, she had to keep up appearances. That's when I turned away. I didn't cry. Not yet. Not until I got back into the car and saw the dinner still boxed in the passenger seat. The wine unopened. The candles unlit. And in that moment, I realized something. Love didn't live here anymore. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I didn't even drive home like a maniac. I sat there in my car, parked in that alley behind her shop, and felt everything go quiet. Not calm, not really. Just, hollow. Like something inside me had died. The man who made her playlists. Who rubbed her shoulders when she was tired. Who believed her when she said she needed space. That man. Gone. When I finally made it back home, the candles were still flickering. The chicken had gone cold. The wine, unopened. I stared at the table I'd set, the folded napkins, the rose petals I'd scattered, and I laughed. One of those sick, bitter laughs you let out when something breaks inside you. Then I blew out the candles. Tossed the food in the trash. And called the one person I knew would understand exactly what to do next. Marisol Fan. My friend, and a damn good divorce attorney. Marisol, I said when she picked up, I'm not married, but I think I'm about to lose more than I ever gave her. She didn't ask questions. Just said, come by in the morning. I'll make sure she doesn't get a cent more than she deserves. We hung up. And that's when the idea hit me. Carolina had left her laptop open so many times, logged in. I still had her password saved, synced across devices. You lie to a man like me? You cheat on me with some overgrown protein shake? You humiliate me in my own heart? Then you don't get to walk away clean. That night, I sat at my desk, pulled up her email, and started crafting the message. Subject, last night was so wild, face blowing a kiss, body, just thought you'd want to see what I was doing while my sweet boyfriend was making me dinner. Don't worry, I'll fake a headache again tomorrow. I attached the video. Yes, that video. The one I recorded of her and Kiss on her office desk. No editing. No cuts. Just raw, disgusting truth. And then I hit send. To her staff, Belle Ward. Jameson Daniels. Ember Harvey. Let's see how loyal they are after that. To her sponsors, Caden Fuentes. Madeline McKay. People who'd plastered her boutique all over social media, praising her brand values. To her friends, Joey Orozco. Renata Anthony. Shiloh McIntyre. People she gossiped with. Laughed with. Lied to. And just for good measure, I blind copied myself on every single one. Just to know it went through. The next morning, the fallout had already begun. Missed calls. Voicemails from Carolina, sobbing, screaming, begging. I didn't answer a single one. Then I sent one final text, dinner tomorrow. One last time. 7 p.m., dress nice. She showed up right on time. Hair curled, heels clicking on the floor like nothing had changed. When she saw the table. Candlelit, wine glasses polished, she froze. You, cooked again, she asked, voice trembling. I didn't say a word. I just handed her a single black rose. Her favorite color was red. But this? This felt more fitting. Enjoy dessert? I said calmly, gesturing for her to sit. She stared at me. Eyes darting. Confused. Nervous. Michael, I didn't mean for, I pressed play on my phone. Her voice echoed through the speakers, you're so much better than him, Kiss. I haven't even let him touch me in months. I told him I had migraines, poor guy believed it. Then Kiss's laughter. Then hers. Dripping with mockery. Carolina's hands flew to her face. Michael, I can explain, I slid the envelope across the table. Inside was everything, a lease transfer. A breakdown of every financial contribution I made to her boutique. Receipts. A letter revoking my support and pulling out as her silent partner. And at the bottom, a simple note. You took my love and treated it like trash. So I took my name off everything you built with it. She started crying. Not quiet tears, the kind that come with panic. Please, she begged. I messed up, okay. But we built so much. Doesn't that mean anything to you? I stood up, walked behind her, and leaned close. It did, Carolina. Until you decided to sell your soul for 15 minutes on your office desk. Her lip quivered. I love you, she whispered. No, I said. You loved what I could give you. And you're not getting any of it now. I left her there, slumped at the table, mascara smudged, fingers trembling. I didn't look back. Didn't wait for another excuse. I had heard enough lies to last me a lifetime. The funny thing about truth is, once it comes out, it doesn't just burn bridges, it levels the entire city. Within 48 hours of that dinner, Carolina's perfect world started crumbling. Sponsors started pulling out first. Caden Fuentes and Madeline McKay both released polite but scathing statements distancing themselves from her boutique, citing unprofessional conduct and brand integrity concerns. Her social media, once filled with fire emojis and boutique selfies, turned quiet. Then came the staff. Belle Ward and Jameson Daniels quit publicly, posted stories about how the culture behind the scenes didn't reflect what customers saw on Instagram. Even Ember Harvey, the one I thought would stay loyal to Carolina no matter what, posted a black square with the caption, "We saw everything. We're not staying silent." By the end of the week, the boutique was closed for renovations. By the end of the month, it was up for lease. Turns out, betrayal doesn't just ruin relationships. It destroys credibility. And as for Kiss, once his sponsors caught wind of the scandal, the video, the affair, the disgrace, his face started vanishing too. No more promo deals. No more coaching programs. Even his gym let him go after complaints from female clients. Guess it's hard to sell clean living when your name's plastered under someone else's cheating drama. I changed the locks the same night I served Carolina the lease documents. Every key. Every password. Every account she used to access. Gone. I didn't want a trace of her in my life. No pictures. No notes. No half-empty bottles of her favorite lotion in the bathroom. I wiped it all. Even the playlist. And for the first time in over a year, I slept without checking my phone. Months passed. The silence was strange at first, not having to wonder where she was, or who she was texting, or why she smelled like someone else's cologne. But eventually, the quiet became peace. And that's when life surprised me. I was at a gallery event downtown, something Lily Zhang dragged me to. Art wasn't really my thing, but she said I needed fresh air and maybe someone new. That's when I saw her. Rebecca Waters, Carolina's former assistant. She was standing alone near a painting, sipping wine, wearing a soft navy blue dress that didn't try too hard, but still made her stand out. I almost turned away. I didn't want the memory of Carolina coming back in through a side door. But Rebecca spotted me and smiled. "Michael," she said. "Wow, you look good." I smiled back. "You too." We talked. At first, just the small stuff. How the art was weird, how crowded it was, how the wine tasted like watered-down regret. But then she said something I wasn't expecting. "I always admired you," she said. "You were good to her. Better than she deserved. And you never lost your class. Even when everything fell apart." I didn't know how to respond. She looked down, then added, "If you ever want to grab a coffee sometime, no pressure. Just, you know. Two people with shared history and better taste in partners. I said yes. Of course I said yes. One coffee turned into three. Three turned into dinners. And dinners turned into something real. There were no roses on the first date. No playlist. No dramatic declarations. Just slow, honest connection. The way love is supposed to feel. A few weeks ago, Carolina tried to reach out again. A single message. No subject line. I saw her name, stared at it for a full minute. Then deleted it. Unread. Not because I didn't wonder what she said. But because I didn't need to know. The part of me that loved her was dead. And I had no interest in trying to revive it. Sometimes, love blinds you. It makes you see someone not for who they are, but for who you hope they'll become. But once you see clearly, once the lies fall away and the masks come off, you never go back. You move forward. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to this story. If you've ever loved the wrong person. If you've ever had to walk through fire just to find your peace on the other side. I want you to know, you're not alone. Drop a comment. Tell me what your moment of clarity was. Let's talk about it. And if you want more raw, real stories like this, make sure to like and subscribe.